My foreman set me up on a blind date with a woman who had burn scars covering half her face. I showed up with flowers, ready to be kind. 2 hours into coffee, I reached across the table to hold her hand. That's when I saw it. A tan line on her ring finger. She'd taken off her wedding ring before the date. She was married. Her husband couldn't handle her scars, she said. So she was looking for someone who could. And I became that someone for 6 months, until he found the text messages. Welcome to Ryan's Revelations, where we bring you true stories of affairs, forbidden love, and the destruction that follows. What you're about to hear is the confession of a 25-year-old carpenter who fell in love with a married woman on a blind date, a woman whose scars made her invisible to her own husband, a woman who convinced him that her marriage was already over, and an affair that destroyed 3 lives. This is a story about how compassion became obsession, how being needed doesn't mean you're doing the right thing, and how even the most justified-seeming affair still makes you the villain. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications. We post true betrayal stories 3 times a week. And if you've ever been the other man or other woman, drop a comment. This story gets complicated, painful, real. Let's begin. My name is Liam. I'm 25, working as a carpenter in Portland. My days start at dawn, building identical houses in the suburbs, ending with sore muscles and sawdust in my hair. I live alone in a small rented house with creaky floors. My foreman Jake is like an older brother. Married with kids, always pushing me to get out more, meet people. You can't just hammer nails all day and call it a life, he'd say. Truth is, I'm not great with women. My last date was over a year ago, some awkward setup that went nowhere. Which is why I was skeptical when Jake pulled me aside at work one day. Listen man, I've got this friend of a friend. She's single nice, and I think you'd hit it off. I shook my head. Come on, Jake. I'm not in the mood for setups. She's a bit special, he said carefully. Just show up. Have coffee. What's the harm? I sighed. Fine, but if it's weird, I'm blaming you. Saturday came. I spent the morning in my garage restoring an old oak table. By afternoon, I showered, scrubbed sawdust from under my nails, put on my cleanest shirt. On the way to the cafe, I stopped at a flower stand. White daisies. Simple and sweet. The cozy cup was tucked in downtown Portland. Exposed brick, warm lights, smell of cinnamon and fresh scones. Jake had texted me the details. She be by the window. Pine green coat. I pushed open the door and scanned the room. There, by the window, was Clara. Brown hair in a low ponytail. Pine green coat draped over her chair. Gazing out at the rain-streaked street. As I approached, I saw it. The right side of her face was scarred. Old burn marks, pinkish tissue, a large scar running from cheek to chin, not subtle. The kind that tells a story without words. I paused, not from revulsion, but surprise. Jake's "a bit special" suddenly made sense. She turned, catching my eye. Her gaze was sharp, assessing, like she was used to reading reactions before people spoke. I forced a smile and stepped forward. Clara? I asked. She nodded, gesturing to the seat across from her. Liam, right? Jake mentioned you'd be the one with flowers. Her smile was cautious but genuine. I set the daisies on the table and sat down. Up close, the scars were more pronounced, but her hazel eyes held mine without flinching. Yeah, that's me, I said. Jake's full of ideas. Hope this isn't too awkward. She chuckled softly. Awkward's my middle name these days. But thanks for coming, and the flowers are lovely. We ordered coffee and started talking. I didn't stare at her scars, didn't avoid them either. Just talked like I would with anyone. She told me about her work as a children's book illustrator. Freelance, working from home, drawing animals and adventures in bright colors. I told her about carpentry, restoring old furniture, the satisfaction of fixing broken things. The conversation flowed easier than expected, but I noticed the stares from other patrons. A woman at the next table whispered to her friend, eyes flicking toward Clara's scars. An older couple did a double take. Clara noticed too. Her posture stiffened, her hand unconsciously brushing her cheek. I kept my focus on her, asking about Portland, about her art. 2 hours passed like nothing. When I walked her to her car, rain misting around us, she turned to me. Thank you, she said. For not making this weird. For just talking to me like a person. You are a person, I said. A really interesting one. She smiled, and something shifted between us. Would you want to do this again? I asked. Maybe grab lunch sometime? I'd like that, she said. As I walked to my truck, I felt lighter than I had in months. This woman with scars and stories had somehow made me feel less alone. What I didn't know yet was the biggest scar she carried wasn't on her face. It was the wedding ring she'd hidden in her purse before I arrived. We started seeing each other regularly. Coffee dates, walks along the Willamette River. Evenings at her apartment where she'd bake cookies while I fixed things around her place. She opened up about the fire. 5 years ago, house fire, she'd been trapped in her bedroom. Third-degree burns on her face, neck, hands. Multiple surgeries. Years of physical therapy. I used to be different, she said one evening, her fingers tracing the scar on her cheek. Before this, I was engaged. Planning a wedding, had a whole life mapped out. What happened? He left. Couldn't handle how I looked. Said he still loved me but couldn't be seen with me. Called off the wedding 3 months after I got out of the hospital. My chest tightened. That's horrible. It taught me that people are shallow. That beauty matters more than anything else. Not to everyone, I said. She looked at me, eyes glistening. You're different, Liam. You see me. Not just the scars, actually me. I reached across the table, taking her hand. Because you're worth seeing. That's when I noticed it, a tan line on her ring finger. Faint, but there, like she'd recently removed a ring. Clara, I said slowly. What's that from? She pulled her hand back, tucking it under the table. What? The tan line, on your ring finger. Her face went pale. It's from before, from the engagement. I wore the ring for so long, the tan line never fully faded. Something felt off, but I wanted to believe her. She'd been through so much. Why would she lie? We kept seeing each other. A month passed, then 2. We grew closer, more intimate. She'd call me late at night, crying about feeling invisible, about the stares she got in public. I became her safe place. The person who made her feel beautiful again. One night, 3 months into whatever we were, I stayed over at her apartment. We'd had wine, talked for hours, and when she kissed me, I kissed back. We crossed that line. Afterward, lying in her bed, she cried. What's wrong? I asked. Did I do something? No. You were perfect. You're always perfect. She turned to face me. Liam, I need to tell you something. My stomach dropped. What? She took a shaky breath. I'm married. The words hung in the air like smoke. What? I'm married to a man named Marcus. We've been married for 3 years. I sat up, pulling away from her. Are you serious? This whole time. Let me explain. Explain what? That you've been lying to me for 3 months? That I just slept with someone's wife? Tears streamed down her face. Marcus can't stand to look at me. After the fire, he changed. He stays late at work, sleeps in the guest room, barely speaks to me. I'm alone in a marriage with someone who's disgusted by my face. Then divorce him. I can't. I signed a prenup. His family has money. If I leave, I get nothing. And I need his insurance for my medical bills. The surgeries, the therapy, it's all covered under his plan. Without it, I'd be drowning in debt. I stood up looking for my clothes. So you used me? Made me your escape from a bad marriage? No. I care about you, Liam. Real feelings. You make me feel alive again. Marcus makes me feel like a monster. But you look at me like I'm beautiful. You are beautiful, but you're also married. And I just became the other man. Please don't leave, she sobbed. I know this is wrong. I know I should have told you. But I was scared you'd walk away, and I need you. You're the only good thing in my life. I should have left right then. Should have told her to figure out her marriage and never contacted her again. But I looked at her, crying, vulnerable, and I felt needed in a way I'd never felt before. Does Jake know? I asked. Did he set us up knowing you were married? No, he knows Marcus. They went to college together, but he doesn't know about us. He thinks I'm separated, living alone. Marcus asked him to set me up on a date, to get me out of the house. He felt guilty, I think. Wait, Marcus asked Jake to set you up with someone? She nodded. He wants me to find someone else so he can leave without guilt. He's trying to pass me off to someone who can handle how I look. The cruelty of it hit me. This woman's own husband was essentially trying to trade her away. That's sick. I know. Which is why I didn't tell you. Because I knew you'd see this as wrong, when really, my marriage ended the day he stopped being able to look at me. I sat back down on the bed, my head in my hands. Clara, this is so messed up. I know, but please, Liam, don't leave me. I know it's selfish, but I need you. And against every instinct telling me to run, I stayed. The affair continued for 6 more months. 9 months total of sneaking around, lying to Jake, pretending Clara was single. Marcus traveled for work constantly. Investment banking in San Francisco, gone 3 weeks out of every month. When he was home, Clara said they barely interacted. He sleeps in the guest room, she told me. We're roommates who share a last name, that's it. When Marcus was gone, I was there. We'd cook dinner together, watch movies, fall asleep tangled up in each other. She'd sketch me while I worked on furniture projects in her garage. It felt real, like we were building something, but the guilt ate at me every single day. I was sleeping with someone's wife. Didn't matter that the husband was cruel, that the marriage was dead. I was still the other man. And Jake had no idea. He'd ask about Clara occasionally. How's it going with the girl from the cafe? Good, I'd lie. We're taking it slow. If he knew the truth, it would destroy our friendship. He introduced us, set up the date, trusted me to be a good guy. The breaking point came in month 9. Marcus came home early from a trip. Some deal fell through and he flew back to Portland a week ahead of schedule. I was at Clara's house. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I'd taken a half day from work, told Jake I had a dentist appointment. Clara and I were in her kitchen, making lunch, when we heard the garage door open. Her face went white. Oh my God, he's home. What do I do? Bathroom. Now. Go. I ran to the guest bathroom, locking the door behind me, heard Marcus's voice in the kitchen. Clara, you home? Yeah, just making lunch. Good, I'm starving. Flight was hell. Through the bathroom door, I heard them talking. Marcus complaining about work. Clara's voice tight, nervous. Then silence. Whose truck is that outside? Marcus asked. My heart stopped. I'd parked on the street. My work truck with the company logo. What truck? Clara tried. The contractor truck. Right in front of our house. Oh, the electrician. He's fixing the wiring in the garage. On a Tuesday afternoon? You couldn't schedule that for a weekend? He had an opening. Took it. I heard footsteps, coming toward the bathroom. Marcus, don't, Clara started. The doorknob rattled. Why's the bathroom locked? I locked it earlier. Habit. Open it. Marcus, please. Open the goddamn door, Clara. I heard her crying now. And I knew it was over. I unlocked the door and stepped out. Marcus stood there, tall, well-dressed, expensive watch on his wrist. He looked from me to Clara, back to me. Who the hell is this? Marcus, I can explain, you said, electrician. This guy's wearing a carpenter's shirt, Jake's company logo. Recognition flashed across his face. Wait, you're Liam, from Jake's crew. I nodded, unable to speak. The blind date. The one I asked Jake to set up. He laughed, bitter and cold. You've been fucking my wife. Marcus, Clara sobbed. How long? Neither of us answered. How long have you been sleeping with my wife? His voice was deadly quiet now. 9 months, Clara whispered. 9 months. Jesus Christ. He looked at me. Did you know she was married? I wanted to lie, wanted to say I didn't know, but I couldn't. Yes, I found out 3 months in, and you kept going. Yes, get out of my house. Marcus, please, let me explain, Clara begged. Explain what? That you've been having an affair for 9 months? That I asked Jake to set you up with someone, hoping you'd find a friend, and you turned it into this? You don't love me. Clara screamed. You can't even look at me, you sleep in the guest room. You're disgusted by my face. I'm not disgusted. Yes, you are. Don't lie. You stopped touching me after the fire. Stopped kissing me. You flinch when people stare. Because I don't know how to help you, Marcus yelled back. Every time someone stares, you spiral, you cry for days. I don't know what to do, so I stay away. But I never stopped loving you. Then why did you ask Jake to set me up with someone else? Because I thought you needed friends. Someone to talk to. Who wasn't me? I didn't tell you to fuck him. They were both crying now. And I was standing there, the catalyst for all this destruction. I want a divorce, Clara said. I can't do this anymore. Fine, you'll get nothing. The prenup is ironclad. I don't care. I'd rather be broke and free than rich and invisible. Marcus looked at me one more time. I hope she was worth it. Destroying a marriage for 9 months of feeling like a hero. Then he walked out. Packed a bag, left. Clara collapsed on the floor, sobbing, and I realized what I'd done. I'd helped destroy a marriage. Became the affair partner. Convinced myself it was justified because he was cruel, because she was lonely. But Marcus wasn't a villain. He was a man who didn't know how to handle his wife's trauma. Who pushed her away out of helplessness. not malice. And I'd made everything worse. Clara filed for divorce 2 weeks later. Marcus didn't fight it, just wanted it over. She lost the house. Lost the insurance. Had to move back in with her parents in Seattle to save money. Her medical bills piled up. The surgeries she needed, the therapy, all out of pocket now. She texted me from Seattle. I lost everything, Liam. The house, the insurance, my independence. Was it worth it? I didn't know how to answer, because the truth? We'd destroyed her marriage. And we weren't even together anymore. The distance, the guilt, the reality that our relationship was built on lies, it killed whatever we had. We talked less, then not at all. Jake found out eventually. Marcus told him everything. You knew she was married? Jake asked, disappointment heavy in his voice. For 6 months, you knew and kept going? I thought her marriage was over. That's not for you to decide, Liam. That's between a husband and wife. You had no right. He was right. I'd convinced myself I was saving her, being the hero, giving her love her husband couldn't. But really? I was just a 25-year-old carpenter who felt needed and couldn't walk away. It's been 8 months since everything imploded. Clara's still in Seattle. Last I heard, she's working from her parents' house, trying to pay down medical debt. Marcus moved to San Francisco permanently. Got a promotion. And me? I'm still in Portland, still working construction. Still restoring furniture in my garage. But I'm different now. I'm the guy who had an affair with a married woman. The guy who helped destroy a marriage because he convinced himself he was doing the right thing. Jake and I work together, but it's not the same. The trust is gone. And every time I see a woman with scars, I think about Clara. About how I thought I was being compassionate, when really I was just being selfish. Being needed isn't the same as being right. And even the most justified-seeming affair still makes you complicit in someone else's destruction. I learned that too late. So what do you think? Was Liam wrong for continuing the affair after finding out she was married? Or was Clara's marriage so broken that it doesn't count as real cheating? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and tell me. Number 1, should Liam have walked away the moment he learned she was married? Number 2, was Marcus at fault for emotionally abandoning his wife after her injuries? Number 3, does a dead marriage justify an affair? And number 4, have you ever been the other man or other woman in a situation like this? This is a safe space. Share your truth. If this story affected you, watch these next. My wife's best friend became my affair. Another case of misplaced compassion. I helped her leave her husband. An affair disguised as rescue. The injured woman who destroyed my life. Similar betrayal from a different angle. Check the description or click the videos now. If you made it to the end, you understand that affairs are never as simple as they seem. That being needed can blind you to being wrong. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We post 3 times a week with true confession stories about affairs and betrayal. And smash that like button if you want more honest stories about the mistakes we make when we confuse compassion with love. Thank you for watching this Ryan's Revelations exclusive. This was a true story about blind dates that weren't blind enough. Marriages that died slowly. And the moment you realize you're not the hero of someone's story, you're the villain. Remember, a bad marriage doesn't give you permission to become someone's affair. And feeling needed doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. Until next time, this is Ryan's Revelations, bringing you the truth about love, lies, and lessons learned through destruction. Stay strong. Stay honest. And know that some lines should never be crossed, no matter how justified they seem.